Hi, this is Ash Cross with Across Careers LLC. I've been having some conversations around resumes today. So I just wanted to share this really amazing sample resume I found with QuantNet. Thank you, Andy. And wanted to explain why this is a great resume, especially combining what recruiters are looking for and what hiring managers are looking for. So recruiters are looking for, one, does this make sense? Like, do I generally understand what this person is doing? And two, do they have the keywords I'm looking for the job description or based on what I know about the job? So recruiters are often recruiting for 50 positions and looking at hundreds of resumes per day. I am exaggerating that, but you get what I mean. Recruiters are looking for those keywords and that context. What are you doing? How are you doing it? What was the impact? Or I like to say, why should I care? And hiring managers are looking for the specific details on how you did it. So, what are the techniques, formulas, systems you use, programming languages? What type of data did you look at? Where did you pull the data from? Anything like that. So, I wanted to go real quick into this section I've highlighted in particular, because bullets are probably one of the hardest parts of the resume. So again, thank you, QuantNet. Thank you, Andy, for this great sample resume. Here's an intern with CITIC. The first one talks about participated in end-to-end development and validation of multi-factor trading strategies for US stocks. So this is a great overview bullet. The only thing I don't like here is starting with participating, which you're an intern, I totally get. But here's what I like from the recruiter perspective, end to end. So that means from conceptualization all the way to development, troubleshooting, deployment, and validation here of a specific type of trading strategy. I might not know what multi-factor means, but I know it's a trading strategy. And I know what asset class you're working with, US stocks. So now what I've done here, and if you want to pause it, you can totally do that too for the video. But generally speaking, the yellow parts are the parts that a recruiter is going to understand. Here we rebuilt a signal by using blank, these means, to better capture market impact during intraday fluctuations. So this might be a recruiter in finance who understands this part, but generally I know you rebuilt something by using specific methods to better capture market impact during fluctuations in the price. So generally I understand what it is. And then resulting in a 0.3 improvement in Sharpe ratio compared to the classic approach. Here you have provided me with great context. I know that there's an improvement. I might not understand what that improvement is because I don't know a lot about Sharpe ratios, but that's something the hiring manager is going to understand and be able to ask you. What I care about is this is an improvement by a measurable result from the traditional or classic. So here I understand the gist and I understand you have the keywords I'm looking for. And you know what you're talking about because you're providing specific examples relevant to the role and what you accomplish there. So here are some other examples of this. Translated 50 mathematical formulas into code as trading signals. Ooh, that's super recruiter friendly. Doesn't tell us a whole lot, so I immediately want more details. So here you extracted statistical features. This I understand. Here you're talking about specific statistical features. As a recruiter, this is over my head. I don't understand, but the hiring manager is going to appreciate this. And you're talking about millisecond level trade data and limit order book data. So even if I'm a recruiter, if I have no finance background, I don't know what an order book is. I do know I see it on job descriptions. I do know you're working with millisecond level trade data. So I'm thrilled that you know what you're talking about when it comes to trading signals and order books. And I'm going to pass your resume on to the hiring manager, or at least be curious enough to ask you about it during the screening. Like, what did you mean by this? Tell me in simple terms, like you're explaining to a 5-year-old what exactly you did here. And I want you to use that technique to prepare for interviews too. Explain this to a 5-year-old. So delivered model validation pipeline. I have no idea what this word means. I do know Sharpe ratio and robustness are keywords. And then the rest of it, I'm able to put together by how you described it. And you provided some meaningful metrics and context. So here, the student I was talking to earlier is a student for machine learning. I know a little bit of machine learning thanks to the number of financial engineering resumes I've reviewed over the years. So I have a big understanding of multicollinearity and PCA and lasso. And also recognize overfitting is a keyword. So I have enough understanding of the field to know that this means you probably know what you're talking about. Now I can ask you for details. And I'm really curious about the results and why you use these methods over maybe some other machine learning algorithms I happen to know. Okay, here we're going into buzzwords. In general, what I can tell, you're optimizing something using algorithms, you're managing timing risk, and you're minimizing the market impact, reducing total execution costs. This is a fantastic bullet. The only thing I would change is if you could talk about what type of market impact, like how are you minimizing it, or what the level of total execution costs are now that you reduce them. So that is a recruiter slash hiring manager's opinion on bullets. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Hopefully this helps. If you found this helpful and you do want a deeper dive into a resume review, I am doing $50 resume reviews this month in October only because I am training my resume review associate. So I hope you will participate in that. I'll put a link in the comments and on my profile.